Dear little Miss Mia, there's so much I wish for you. I love the days when you work with me in the garden. I love above all your delight in everything, that wriggly worm you held between your fingers, just you kneeling there in the earth, so full of joy in being alive. But you know, one day, Mia, if we don't care for it, this good earth of ours will be as arid and lifeless as the moon. Have you ever seen a picture of Earth from space? It's like a bright blue bead spinning through the dark, a beacon of life. But our world is as fragile as you are, as I am, as the trees are, as the birds are, as the plants are. If I've learned anything in my long life, it's this. Our Earth is a living, breathing being, and we must hurt her no more. We're using her up, fouling the air and the sea, making a dustbin of the land, a sewer of the oceans, a graveyard of her creatures. We have to learn to love our Earth again. Love her as much as I love you and you love me. For you and I, we're part of this living planet, part of our Earth's great family.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Breeze, Breezeway Productions' The Breeze. And today we are bringing you the Hollyshorts 2020 official selection series. And we have a wonderful filmmaker here today, Stuart Rideout. How are you, Stuart?
I'm very well, thank you, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. Happy to have you zooming in all the way from over the pond in Wales. So yeah. It's quite good to see you on the virtual world. And your film is I Wish for You. So tell us a little bit about I Wish for You.
Well, I Wish for You is it's a short film at the centre of a campaign for the Climate Change Coalition, and we wanted to make my initial idea was to make a kind of love letter to the world, told from a child's point of view. So I was working with the coalition, and we talked about we needed somebody I wanted to make a short film because we could make a commercial or something like that to sit at the centre of the campaign, but and I'm a commercial director, kind of by trade, I guess, and we wanted to do a short film so we get the audience to invest more in the kind of story and allow the characters room to breathe and build. So because we want to really tell a very emotional story. Because obviously climate change is a very big, multifaceted subject, and you can go off. It can be a bit too dark, I think. So we wanted to create something that was very big, but at the same time very personal, and kind of across a generational gap. So we had these kind of various ideas, and we were thinking about who could help us write it. And somebody suggested Michael Morpurgo, who wrote a book called War Horse. He wrote hundreds of books, actually. And obviously Steven Spielberg went on to direct the film War Horse.
Sure.
And he was a brilliant choice, actually, because not only was he really into it, but he has a really good connection with, and when he's writing, he writes from a point of view of not just, he can look at a child's point of view, a connection with wildlife and animals and nature around us. So we had a chat with him. And he liked all our ideas. We talked about seeing such a massive subject. We'd look at it from space, so it's kind of Earth in within the galaxy, and then bring it right down to a child running on a beach. So we had to kind of tie all these ideas together. So he wrote this extraordinary script, actually, which had at the heart of it a love letter to the world from a grandparent to a grandchild. So we thought, okay, this is fantastic. We then started looking for cast, who we could cast in it, and for actors. And we sent it to Jeremy Irons. And we thought, okay, let's try Jeremy. And he said yes, which was truly amazing.
Sure.
So then, he really liked the story. And then we had to work out, we had to find Mia, who was his grandchild. So we looked at a few actresses, and then Maxine Peake, who's an English actress, came on board. And then that left us with trying to find her as a young girl. So this led us into a bit of a dilemma where over here you need permits. So we had a very limited budget and a very small time frame.
Yes.
And I knew that, so we had to, working out how to do it, we had to go to shoot all the backstory. And so then we had to shoot all the backstory and all the memories that Maxine Peake would see as a young girl. And we were shot for a week in Wales.
Nice.
But I obviously had to take a child to Wales. And so we had to find the child. We couldn't find the child. And then what turned out to be a dilemma, I had a kind of moment of inspiration to cast my daughter, which was, my daughter was 6 at the time. And sorry, can I just close the door?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, well, that's good. You can get a good idea of the project itself. Seeing Jeremy Irons on the project, and that it was a very limited time schedule that they had to shoot. You had a very limited budget, you were saying. So a lot of independent filmmakers, especially short filmmakers of all kinds, are very curious. They want these big stars. They want people in these projects. And I see that I looked on IMDb. You also did another film with Charles Dance.
Yes, the same series of films, actually.
Another iconic, colossal actor who's done everything from Game of Thrones to Last Action Hero. And you're able to get this talent. So my question is, with this limited budget, how are these conversations going? Is it directly through a relationship? Is it through agents? Is it through?
No, I think what happened was, well, it's a series of films that I did, and the first in the series, for the Climate Coalition. The first in the series was more like a commercial, and they were active. And the idea was they're based around this campaign called Show the Love, and they're based around kind of love of the world. So the first one was a love poem. The second one was a love letter, which is the Jeremy Irons one. And the third one was a love song, which was the one starring Charles Dance.
Did the organization have a part in reaching out to them in order to have them involved?
I think that the thing was, each one was a calling card for the next one. So each film, they set quite a high bar. And then the next time we did it, somebody, and I think with I Wish For You, a lot of it came from the actual text, the writing.
Sure.
Because Michael wrote something so strong, then once we sent it to Jeremy, he pretty much said yes straight away. Which I was bowled over, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah. But then I think when something like that happens, and someone like Michael Morpurgo he's on board, because he opened the door to Rachel Portman, who did allowed us to use her music on the film. And I think that's all these things are almost like the planets align. It's kind of at this moment, everything seems to come together, and it should be. I guess it should be really quite difficult, but it was quite effortless, really, and I was very, very lucky.
Right, the team that you were putting together. So the writer obviously had his own history of successful projects. So when someone has a script that comes across their desk saying that the writer was very accomplished as it is, saying that they'll take a look at it, seeing where it's going, the topic that it's covering, in this regard, climate change. And they said, I'd love to be in. When you said you had a very short time frame, how short was that time frame?
So we were talking to Michael in late September, and it took us a while to get the story down. And then we had to shoot in January. So we had late September, we were speaking to Michael. We had a script in November, and then it was kind of who should we send it to? Jeremy came on board very quickly, so we were lucky with him. And then Maxine came on just before, in the middle of December, I think. And then I made the decision to cast Emily, my daughter, as the young girl, because we started shooting the first week of January, and then because we had to finish it by the second week of February. So
that's really how quickly the project gets done and moves into post. And then you're going through the festival circuit currently. How has your tour been now that it's in Hollyshorts? This is a premiere?
It's been really good. I started entering into festivals at the end of last year. It's won the Global Shorts and the Best Shorts competition. And it's been accepted into quite a few now. I think, again, it's one of those things where you start gaining momentum with the festival. So, I'm very new to the whole festival scene.
Well,
So
welcome. It is quite the ride. And Hollyshorts is
it's
a
brilliant.
great festival to run with. They've been around a long time, and it's run by a great group of individuals. So obviously,
Yeah.
happy to have you and happy to now do the virtual experience, which is new for everybody. So it's definitely cool to see that the film has been going through the festival circuit
Yeah.
quite successfully. Now with climate change, very important topic and should be discussed. Why was this issue the thing that you wanted to really bring to the forefront? Obviously, you see the script coming in from the writer, which talks about this topic. In what way did you, through directing this, really give it that extra boost to show that it was an impactful film?
Well, I think the thing with topics like climate change, they're so huge, and there's always been lots of media trying to kind of tell the story or raise awareness, and we really thought very hard about how we should pitch it, because obviously you can't preach at people.
Sure.
And it's very easy to go down a very, very dark route, which actually this part of this film does. And so we wanted to make a film which really engages on an emotional level and talks to kind of a cross-generational group of people, and an audience rather, so that they who really invest in the kind of the visceral emotion of the film.
Sure.
So we want to make it, it's not only a life story, but we want all the visuals to be really beautiful in terms of the way they connect with the natural world. So that's why we had to spend a week in a van driving around Wales, looking for these locations, and they're locations from my childhood really. And we have to really build that solid connection, because once it's great having a really good script and everything, but for me the key visuals were really, really important. And there's things like we had to have not only the natural elements of the script of the visual, sorry, we had to we talk about the kind of what we're doing to the world, the way animals are treated, wildlife's treated, the way pollution is, we're polluting our seas, killing the oceans, and obviously those are very big things you have to cover. And I didn't want to do it in a way that was the usual kind of just showing oil slicks. So we went down a semi-abstract route of using cloud tanks and ink in water and shooting it, so it felt like there was a kind of an impression really of pollution and dying and decay, and a kind of a doom, which and that was setting fire to flowers and all those sort of things. They kind of paint a picture and give you a feeling rather than just show you forests on fire, or polluting sea,
tornadoes or earthquakes.
So it kind of so you kind of it seeps into you rather than hits you over the head. Yeah. And then when that's backed up by what Jeremy Irons is saying, and then the music, and the performances, then it kind of all pulls together to create something that's quite emotional.
Well, as you were saying, it's had a good run so far. It's being noticed. It's getting out there. It's screening at Hollyshorts, and it's a very serious topic that audiences need to be
absolutely
reinforced in knowing that we should move away from fossil fuels and go towards green renewable energy, and that we have one planet, so maybe we should really take this seriously and then put a lot of other things aside and then focus on our future, one planet, one humanity. And I hope that our audiences will be able to check this film out at Hollyshorts through BitPix. And we're going to hopefully showcase a teaser, a trailer. Do you have one that would be able to show?
Yes, I do have a teaser. Yeah.
Beautiful. So I will put that in with this video as well. And in closing, is there anything you'd like to say to the Hollyshorts organization?
I'd just like to say thank you for allowing me to show my film at your festival. I'm really excited about seeing all the other films, and it's going to be, I'm just looking forward to next week and seeing it all come about, really.
Very good, very good. Well, Stuart, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about the project I Wish for You, and that we will be showcasing the trailer, the teaser rather, included with this interview. And I wish the best of success for the film and its continued festival run.
Thank you, Alex.